Did everyone you interact with, would they consider themselves Christians, followers of Christ, people that have spiritual foundation? Or did you also interact here, let me tell you why. I'll go ahead and cut through so you know where I'm going. To me, when we add our faith, our spiritual aspect to it, it is it's like throwing gas on this fire when we talk about work. If you and I were going to have this conversation and we were going to remove, I've got my Bible open here to Jeremiah because you referenced that. And, if we were to remove all the spiritual, and we'll talk about the word calling in just a moment and how it clouds this whole thing. If we were to remove all that, I think it's still a tough thing to converse about. What's success? What's failure? How much money do you make? What are your stuff? What's your title? Things like that. But when we throw this whole thing of we were created to do something on this earth, it's like, woo. I
Right.
mean, doesn't that just like mess us up even worse, Michaela?
Yeah, I love the analogy of throwing gas on a fire because it certainly should be an anchor point, right? And,
Should be.
yeah, it should be. I think it's in our defense, in all of our defense, I think it's easy to lose that because it's like faith gets segmented to certain brackets, right? And work is not usually one of them. And so when you meet people that are thinking faithfully about their work, they've often been on their own journey. And other people are like, oh, and they kind of light bulbs are going on. Maybe that was even my own story. I'm like, well, I'm doing this, but I haven't actually parsed it out. Um, but and this is where I then go to where that empathy on the way leads is I think so much of the what we're called to do, what we're created to do plays out in the really daily small stuff. I had a student in a class just the other day. We were talking about the same idea. And this is a student, she's 25. And she said, I feel like it's like a million little decisions stack up to be our actual response to God's calling, much less than I've got this perfect career that God perfectly built me for, which some of the gift, I'm not like, sort of stomping on giftedness and fit, but I'm like, yeah, 1,000 little decisions that stack up to be that dance, that call and response relationship, which is why the along the way stuff is so important.